everyone understands economics. Economics are about financial systems, material inputs, and things like that. It's not it's a thing that everyone's familiar with. It's how the world has always worked. We look at the monetary values of things, and those are the only things that have value and that are considered to be what matters, right? As things have evolved over the years, now that we have technology to be able to help us um, be able to take more into account with what people do, what people can offer, and also with concepts that blockchain has been able to pioneer more. For example, the concept of attention, right? So attention is a type of a currency now, right? And that's in thanks largely to the project with Brave browser, right? With the basic attention token, BAT, right? So that was an interesting experiment in how to monetize the attention of people and how the value of that is being able to be translated into economic power. And then you have other projects like Hive, for example, that has been able to do the same sort of thing, where it's the monetization of attention. So through using these technologies, we can be able to have it so that we're better aligned in terms of being able to capture these values of human input into what they're doing to provide value to the economy. And this is something that is more aligned so that you end up with a system that doesn't only account for the value that is translated. It doesn't only account for only monetary value, but accounts for human value. And so we call this humanomics. Okay. This is a term that we've coined in terms of and given its own definition, which as it applies to Peerplays. So what this largely has to do with is how things work and what kind of system is this are these sorry what kind of system sorry let me rewind. What kind of systems are we going to have that are going to support human endeavor, or are they going to support economic endeavor? So with the systems in Peerplays, because we use human input as part of the consensus, we're able to ensure that the systems we have end up being something that not only feels more aligned to how humans interact, but allows us to be able to gain more value in everything we do. So take, for example, what I just talked about with basic attention. Basic attention in using different kinds of products, but then there's also the possibility of us being able to capture more microtransactions of the everyday things that people do. If we can incorporate humanomics into NFTs, then there's going to be possibilities where creative works and other types of content are then going to become these micro generators of value that people are going to use. Just being able to take all the things that all the things that people use, or not just what they use, what they game with, what they work with, what they play with, all the assets in terms of real estate. And if you are able to take them all and then consider the human input to them and put it into a single system, you end up with a system where you're accounting for the value of someone as a whole rather than just the economic unit. But what we're doing with Peerplays is we're making it so that this is optimized, right? Whereas no other blockchains are optimizing for this. rather than optimizing for humanomics, they're optimizing for economics. And what this is doing is replicating the existing networks that exist today. You're looking at, some people say finance 2.0, but the problem is that, well, you just end up replicating all the same design issues that exist in the world today. So how's that any better, right? How is that going to solve the problems that people have with the current system? It's kind of like taking everything that's already out there and slapping a blockchain on it. You're not really gonna like, you're just gonna end up arriving at the same destination that everything else is already done. So where you create a human input to create consensus system, you end up creating a system that allows for no longer no allows for everybody to have the input that we talked about with proof of pulse, but they're going to make it so that you don't end up in a situation where it becomes nothing but being controlled by an elite few. And that's ultimately what financial systems are designed to do. So that's what ends up happening.